got 49ers rookie minicamp kicking off this week. We're going to talk about George Kittle and these trade report rumors, and we're going to have some fun right here. Let's take a look at those concept rivalry uniforms right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Smash that like button, and let's get crack-a-lackin', baby. What's going on, 49er faithful? It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie, kicking it on a Monday afternoon edition, the Wayne Breezie Show, back at our regular scheduled time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. All right, hope you guys had a great weekend. It's back to 49ers football. We're going to actually get some practicing this week with the rookies reporting to minicamp, so forth and so forth. Again, welcome to the Wayne Breezie Show. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you guys smash that like button, leave a comment in the comment section, all right? And if you want to support the stream, support the channel right here on YouTube, all you got to do is click on that join button. Don't forget to follow on all of the other social media websites. Also, subscribe and listen, check out the podcast right there, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasting as well. And definitely don't forget to check out our partners over at residency.com. That's www.residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy, and you can get one of those cool residency hats you guys see in the background of the show. Let's get to the morning shout-outs or afternoon shout-outs from the Breezy Bunch crew. Shout out to Boats, who's in the building. Glad we kept George, but a second-round pick. Listen, we're going to have a conversation today. You already know Ty's in the building. Shout out to Ty, one of our moderators. Second-round pick is a low-ball offer for the best in the game. Love these comments. Jack Knox in the building. Greetings from Rome, Italy. Hope everyone is doing well. Have an amazing show. Like, subscribe on your way in. Oh, and join the BB crew. Jax, thanks for rocking with us all the way from Italy. Wow, that's amazing. Peachy in the building. Good afternoon, Breezy and the BB crew. Have a great show. I almost forget that it's afternoon. Isn't that funny? Like, it's weird. I'm so used to doing a morning show, which I miss doing a morning show because I can have my afternoons to myself and creating content. But, you know, by the time I really get going, it's probably around noon. And so bringing you that 1 o'clock show is pretty good, especially for all of our West Coast faithful out there who are kind of like just really getting going with their day. Colin all the way in the UK, man. Thanks for being a Breezy Bunch member as well. And we start the show off with our first super chat contribution all the way from Rome, Italy. Jax Knox, glad Kittle is here to stay. So who will be tight end 2? All right, we're going to talk about that as well. Speaking of tight end 2, let's get right into what happened over this past weekend. Let's go to tight end Ross Dwelley. We call him Ross the Boss right here, right? The 49ers re-signed tight end Ross Dwelley to a 1-year deal. So with Jackson, your super chat and your question asking who will tight end 2 be, this is a great question because I personally think that the best tight end, not named George Kittle, on this roster is Ross the Boss Dwelley. And I got my reasons, and I'll give you a few of those reasons. Reason number one, he's super first of all, he's been with the Niners since they began, right? Like you go back to Ross Dwelley and his tenure here with the 49ers. And you know what? Let me look up Ross Dwelley's tenure so I could get the correct years. I don't want people to feel like I don't know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to Ross Dwelley. But, you know, you go back to 2018. That's when he started his tenure with the San Francisco 49ers. He became a free agent last year. He did his 1-year deal with the Falcons. 1 reception, 5 yards. That was his contribution to the Falcons. And you know what I want to do? And I'm glad you asked that question. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Ross Dwelley's production has been since he's been in the NFL, right? Like, I think that's super fair to kind of like glance at. All right, so let's go ahead and remove his picture and let's go ahead and take a look at him. All right, and so look, I think Ross Dwelley, in my opinion, has been one of, you know, when utilized a certain way, he's been one of the best. Now, I'm not going to give you super deep dive stats, but if you go back and look into his production, I mean, rookie season, 2 receptions, 14 yards, average 7 yards per attempt, as long as 8, right? And then you go to 2020, you saw a ramp up, right? 2020, that was Ayuk's rookie year, all right? 19 receptions, 245 yards, 12.9. Now we cooking. We cooking, right? Like, because the receptions are up, the yards are up, the average per reception is up. His long was a 36, 1 tight end. All right, so now we cooking. I mean, I skipped over 2019. That was Debo's rookie year, but even you seeing the increase of the production, and then 2021, once the team started kind of like reshaping and what they wanted to do, you can see the production took a little dip. But 2 touchdowns on that year, 2021. And he's had weird contractual years with the 49ers too. Like it's not like he's been with the Niners but never really made a lot of money for the 49ers. I don't know what his 1-year deal is entailing right now. But I do know I'm glad to have him back. 2022, 3 receptions, 105 yards, 35 yards per reception. His longest was 56. He had a touchdown that year. 2023 was his last year with the Niners. By then, they've been trying to replenish the tight end position. We had Charlie Warner here that year as well. That was his last year in 2023. So I just really feel like he kind of took a back seat by default because the Niners were really trying to look for that other wide type of tight end, like that pass catching, run blocking guy that they can utilize the H-back, so kind of like what we call them. And I don't think the Niners ever figured it out. They drafted Braden Willis. I felt like that was going to be his role. I don't think he's the great blocking tight end as Ross Dwelley was. And then he goes and does his 1 year with the Falcons, and you can see how that panned out. So, just getting back to Ross Dwelley and who tight end 2 may be for the 49ers, for me, I kind of like tight end 2 as Ross Dwelley. Now, I know the contract for Luke Farrell was a 2-year deal, and so his contract says 9 times out of 10, he's going to be tight end number 2 for the 49ers. But I hate to say that. I kind of like Ross Dwelley as far as production. And my main thing is he knows the system, right? It's not like he's coming in here, he has to relearn the system. Nah. He clearly knows the system. The 49ers kept him around for as long as they could until he became a free agent and got a job with Atlanta. So that's my tight end 2. I don't know if that's going to be the 49ers tight end 2. Jax, thank you for the Super Chat contribution. But for me, that's who I think the 49ers should definitely go with. Peachy said, glad we got Dwelley back. There's so much I think Ross Dwelley can offer if he's utilized properly. The question is, will he be utilized properly? That's the question. Click, boom. So congratulations, Ross Dwelley, on his 1-year deal. Back with the San Francisco 49ers. He is back, and I like that, man. I like it a lot. All right. What's up, Crazy Juice? Crazy Juice in the building. Another member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Appreciate it. Tanisha in the building as well. I see my little brother Corey out there as well, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so Ross Dwelley's here. He's here to stay for at least 1 season, and the Niners got a pretty, tight. Look, you know what? Drop in the comments in the chat. How would you grade the 49ers tight end room? I didn't give you a list, but I can kind of go off the dome piece. It's George Kittle. We already know about his extension. So it's George Kittle, it's Ross Dwelley, it's Luke Farrell, or Farrell, however you want to say his name. It's Jake Tongas, it's Mason Pline, and that's I feel like I'm missing a person. I feel like I'm missing. I feel like we got six players in the tight end room. I feel like I'm missing a guy, and I only named 5. So let me go to my notes. Let's see. 49ers roster. Boom, 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 boom. Tight ends. Oh, no, I'm right. So Kittle, Farrell, Willis, Braden Willis. Braden Willis was the one that I was missing. So that's the tight end room. Now, I feel like the competition, here's what I like about the competition of the tight end room. All right. Now, don't forget, drop your grades in there. How would you grade the 49ers tight end room? And if you feel like I'm spending a lot of time or emphasis on the tight ends, I think the tight ends is what makes Kyle Shanahan's offense unique. It's not the running backs. It's not the wide receivers. Those guys can be schemed open. It's the tight ends because of their ability to be an extension of the offensive line. All right. So George Kittle, Luke Farrell, Braden Willis, Jake Tonges, and I forgot to add Ross the Boss to my list. So we have 6 tight ends currently on the roster. Mason Klein being that practice squad guy, so really 5, but still 6. And I like it because there's the competition. Now, I think George Kittle's tight end 1. I don't feel like there's a competition for that, but for tight end 2, you got Luke Farrell, you got Ross Dwelly. But I feel like the competition is going to be between Braden Willis and Ross Dwelly. I feel like they give me similar vibes. They're the athletic tight ends. They're the guys you want to get the ball in their hands. They can make plays. They can make yards after the catch, so forth and so forth. I think you get Luke Farrell to come in and replace Eric Saubert from last year as a better, blocking tight end. Jake Tonges, maybe Luke Farrell, they kind of like compete for that next spot. And we'll see if Mason Klein, takes it a step further. But, tight end for me, that's kind of like where I'm going. Let's start with some of these tight end grades. Jack Knox says with Kittle, definitely an A. It's funny. I don't know if you give it, I see you giving it an A because we got George Kittle, who's the best damn tight end in football. All right, best damn tight end in football. Foghorn, because I'm counting double-digit touchdowns for George Kittle this year. But there's a big drop after that, right? There's a big drop because you're looking for the complimentary guy. And if George Kittle is your receiving number 1 tight end, who's going to be that complimentary guy? So you're saying an A. But I definitely respect some of the other grades. Lake City, what's going on, my brother? B+ for Lake City. Corey, A-. Bobby Robinson says A, so that's 2 A's. I like that. I like the A's. I like the A grade. Papa J, B+. My man Boats with the B-. And, it's like you read my mind when I talked about the depth, right? Like you read my mind when I talked about depth. What's going on, Red Jet Shell in the building? She says, yo. I'm trying to say it like her. Yo, like and sub. Bam. Just like that. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of with Boats. Like I'm kind of in that B- range. And it sucks because like George Kittle, if he's an A+, ooh, I got a dope question too. If George Kittle's an A+, I feel like everybody else is a C. So, or below. You know what I mean? A C or below, in my opinion. I feel like that. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough. So the B-, B- is a reach. I think, Boats. I think we're reaching for that B-. But you know what? George Kittle does make it that great. He does make the room great. Speaking of George Kittle, speaking of the Titans, back to George Kittle. And we're gonna, talk about George Kittle and these trade rumors. And congratulations to George Kittle on extending his life with the San Francisco 49ers. I think that deserves a round of applause here. I like that. He's $19.1 million a year. Highest paid tight end in football currently right now. And I just like the fact that I think he's gonna retire a 49er, and I think he's gonna be, looked at to being one of the best damn tight ends to ever play the sport, right? I feel like George Kittle will be in that trajectory, and I definitely think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Got to get him a championship for sure. That would solidify the Hall of Fame career for me. Same thing with Trent Williams. Got to get these guys the chip. I think that as great as they are, you need the chip. That's why I wasn't mad when Myles Garrett talked about leaving Cleveland. I mean, as great as he is, without a chip, I mean, like it doesn't hurt him, but dang, it definitely boosts him up to one of those guys that helped his team be able to get over the hump and get that chip. So I feel like George Kittle will be in the Hall of Fame. Let's talk about quick Madden, because I got my Madden information coming out. Don't worry, there's no 49ers going to be on the cover of Madden and Madden 26, but my question to you, will George Kittle be in the 99 club? Because last few years it's been Travis Kelce, and they've been disrespecting the Kittle. I'm just going to keep it a buck. They've been disrespecting the Kittle. I don't understand what the is going on, but they've been disrespecting the Kittle. And for year after year, Kittle has probably been the most consistent tight end in football. And I feel like, without putting him on the cover, don't you think about it, Madden, could this be the year Kittle graces the 99? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. 99 for Kittle, 99 club, best tight end in football. There's no way I'm putting Brock Bowers, a one-time rookie that I understand. Greatest achievement, reception leader for sure. I mean, who else did the Raiders have to throw to? But at the end of the day, he's not a better tight end than George Kittle. Production-wise, cool beans. But if that guy is a second-year player gets the 99 over George Kittle into the club, oh, me and Madden developers going to have a real serious conversation. Only person, my man Michael, 99. I listen, dog. I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you, bro. Make sure you become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew too, man. Appreciate you, dog. Thanks for being a subscriber. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead, click on that subscribe button. You dig? 49ers throwbacks in the building saying go Warriors. Listen, congrats, man. Look, all I care about right now is my Celtics destroying the New York Knicks. That's the only thing I care about. But much success to y'all Warriors out there. And I would love a rematch in the NBA Finals. Celtics versus Warriors. Y'all don't want the smoke, not this year. You don't want the smoke. But listen, I'm shout out to the Bay Area and the fam out there in the Bay Area, man. Congrats. All right, so George Kittle 99 club for me, it's definitely a yes. I'm hoping the Madden people finally feel like he's worthy of, you know what I'm saying, that not 99. I mean, I feel like it's gonna go to Brock Bowers, but that would suck if George Kittle ends up with a 98 and then he gets the 90. For me, that would suck. All right, that would suck. Let's talk about rookie minicamp, which kicks off this week for the San Francisco 49ers. All right, we got all the invites to the rookie minicamp, at least the majority of them. This is where the rookies are going to come through, as well as the undrafted free agents. So this looks like a pretty big camp. And for those that don't know what rookie minicamp is, it's when the rookies come together and they kind of get that installment, that first, I call it, look at it as a head start program, right? It's mandatory for rookies anyway, but just look at it as a head start. They're going to, May 9th through May 10th. So this weekend, right before Mother's Day, right? That Friday, that Saturday. And happy early Mother's Day to all the wonderful moms out there. Make sure you show your moms, mothers, some love. Those that are still here with us, those that aren't here with us, make sure you still show them love. This is their day. This is their week. So definitely want to show the moms some love. All right. So you got rookie minicamp coming up May 9th, May 10th. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about all these draft picks. You dig? Like, I'm super excited. I mean, all 11 picks. 11 picks. The Niners drafted 11 players, and I'm excited about each and every freaking one of them. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'm excited about them. Rookie minicamp's going to kick off. And again, this is like that first kind of installment of the OTAs. This is past the part where they kind of worked out. They get the head start just on what it's like to be a professional. I think the meetings, they're going to be, in the meetings, learn how to be professionals, learn how to deal, with finances, things like that, man. This is where they need to come together, and they're going to compete for a spot. Now, this isn't training camp. This is rookie mini camp, and the Niners are going to be able to get some real good film out on their draft picks, as well as the guys that went undrafted, as well, all right, as those players that have been invited. Now, for those that have been sleeping under a rock and haven't been following me here goes our draft picks: Michael Williams, Alfred Collins, Nick Martin, Upton Stout, CJ West, Jordan Watkins, Jordan James, Marquise Siegel, Curtis Rourke, Connor Colby, Junior Bergen, all right, are the 49ers 11 draft picks, all right? Now, we also this weekend, shout out to Red Jet Show, because I can't wait to do the shows. We're going to be doing that special show this Wednesday, we got the schedule release, so we'll definitely talk about that. That's going to be money for sure. But let's get back to the rookie mini camp. I want to know in the chat, the live chat, shout out to everybody out there still, who do you feel on this list out of the draft picks, the 11 draft picks, who will be the most impactful player year one? All right. Michael Williams, first round pick, Alfred Collins, Nicholas Martin, Upton Stout, CJ West, Jordan Watkins, Jordan James, Marquise Siegel, Curtis Rourke, Connor Colby, or Junior Bergen. One offensive lineman in this draft. Who do you guys feel like is going to be the most impactful player, all right, out of the rookies? All right. So most impactful player year one. Who do you guys see is going to be that? Go ahead and put your comments in the comment section. All right. All right. So I'm sorry. Schedule release is next Wednesday after Mother's Day. So my apologies. Thank you, Niner Faithful. Appreciate that. All right. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday. All right. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right. Let's see. I see some comments in the comment section. Jax Knox first up. My boo up then stop. I mean, you got a lot of boos, right? So like I'm sure they probably mad. You can only have one boo. So pick a boo. Last year, your boo was Jair Brown. Now your boo this year is Upton Stout. Man, they're probably mad at you. But Upton Stout, love the Upton Stout pick, man. 49ers third round pick. Last pick in the third round on day 2. Impactful player. I like that. I'll talk about that for sure. CJ West, Crazy Juice for CJ West for Crazy Juice. Love it, man. Love it. Corey says Michael Williams. Definitely love it. Dexter Craig, we got Twitter in the house. Make some noise for the Twitter family watching live. I don't know what I got to do to get them over here on the YouTube to become a part of that YouTube community, but thank you for watching on X. Defensive tackle Alfred Collins. Yes, Alfred Collins. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Michael Williams. You got a Michael Williams. You know what I'm saying? CJ West going to eat up quarterbacks. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. A lot of Collins, man. I like this, man. I like this. Now, I'm going to go with who I think is going to be the most impactful player year one. And let me know what you guys think about my assessment on this, and feel free to chime in. All right. So impactful player year one for the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, is going to be linebacker Nicholas Martin. And there's several reasons why I'm going to go with the Nicholas Martin route, and it's because of the position. It's because of the position. All right. I feel like Robert Saleh had his hand all over this draft. Okay. And there's one position I'm definitely not going to question when he drafts that position, and that's linebacker's position. Turbo 977, thank you so much for the super chat contribution. I'm not sure if there was something you wanted me to read or say, but go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll definitely get that up and read, man. Appreciate the super chat contribution and supporting the stream. Thank you so much. But it's Nick Martin. And when you look at the San Francisco 49ers and you look at the depth at the position, it's Fred Warner, and then it's depth. And I'm going to pencil in right now. I don't know. What am I trying to say? I don't know how he's going to be coming off of the ACL injury. Now, that's just my opinion, but Curtis Robinson, linebacker, signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers this offseason. I don't know how he's going to return and react from that ACL injury, but I'm a little nervous or concerned about that, because if I'm looking for a guy that's going to play the weak side and be that linebacker 2 kind of like spot, I need somebody that I know can move. I need somebody that I know that's young, that's vibrant, that's healthy, all right? Didn't suffer from, you know what I'm saying, the ACL tear to the knee. But right now I'm going to pencil him in as that guy. And I'll talk a little bit about another player that I feel like is going to be impactful. But Nick Martin, I feel like Nick Martin is going to get an opportunity. He's got to go up against guys like D. Winters, Curtis Robinson. I already said that. Curtis Robinson, D. Winters, Jalen Graham. There's a couple of other linebackers that I feel like he's got to go up against. Let me just double check my list real quickity quick quack. As far as linebackers, did I not put the linebackers in? I didn't do the defense positions. Interesting. I only did the offense. All right, my apologies. So yeah, he's got to go up against some of those guys, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Now, I feel like Nick Martin is built with the speed and the tenacity to play the weak side. And so if we're talking about that coverage type of linebacker, I don't know, man. I know D. Winters is a fast guy. I see Curtis Robinson more as a strong side linebacker, not necessarily worried about him with the speed. But Nick Martin, I think, is going to compete up against D. Winters. And if he can prove he can bring back, now he's coming off of a knee injury as well. It's more of a sprain in the knee, not a tear to the ACL. If he can come back, I think it's an MCL sprain. If he can come back and prove that he is a tackler, I think Nick Martin would be more impactful than any of these other rookies because he's going to get the opportunities to be impactful. He's going to get the most opportunities. Now, there's a player that I feel like is going to get opportunities up the yin yang, and it's going to be my favorite pick in this draft. And if you can guess my favorite pick in this draft, you have been watching the shows. But my guy, and we got some super chat contributions I see out there, I'll definitely get to those. My guy, mother freaking Upton Stout. Okay, Upton Stout. Now I get it. He's undersized. Don't really care. What I know is he can come in and start the nickelback position for the San Francisco 49ers. And my research shows that the 49ers were in the nickel over 70% of the time. So 70% of the time, the 49ers had an extra defensive back on the football field at all time. Like, that's just the way that the NFL is going. We're going 11 personnel. They are going with 3 wide receiver sets out there, running back and a tight end, and it is just what it is. And if the 49ers, they passed up over corners that I thought would have solidified this team in the future, right? Will Johnson, outside guy, passed up over him. Tons. Suvan Ravel passed up on Ben Morrison, passed up on him. Trey Amos passed up on him. They passed up on some of these outside guys. Drafting Upton Stout as their first DB corner made me realize that the 49ers are extra confident. They paid Diamador Lenore to be an outside guy with the ability to play inside. Then they drafted an outside corner last year with their second-round pick in Nardo, right? That let me know that the Niners are confident at their outside corners, and Robert Saleh, more importantly, is confident in his outside corners, which he addressed the nickelback spot, which is Upton Stout. You got a great tackling, run defending, coverage nickelback guy in Upton Stout. And I said it was Jahdae Barron. These guys, versatility, right? That's why I really love them. Jahdae Barron, Upton Stout, I really feel like they're the same player. They just went to different schools, and they're the same size. Like, they're literally like around the same size. They play the same way. They both play big. But the Niners get their nickelback in the third round in Upton Stout with pick 100, and I think he's going to get the opportunity to be out there on the football field. And so that's why I feel like he's going to be another impactful player. But between Nick Martin and Upton Stout, believe it or not, I think they see the field the most for the 49ers as rookies. And I think, because I think that Michael, Alfred Collins, I think these are going to be run defending guys, right? So first and second down, they're going to be out there on the football field. Come time to pass rush, you're putting speed out there on the edge. You're putting speed out there in the interior. That's not them, right? Maybe CJ West stays on the field a little bit longer because he's a little faster. Okay, from the interior. So I feel like West might see more time than Alfred Collins because I feel like he has more of an ability to get to the quarterback. But I respect everybody's impactful players. You guys are probably right for sure. You know what I mean? Connor Colby is another one. You guys know I love me some Connor Colby. I think he's the unsung hero of this 49ers draft class. And the way that the offensive line be set up, I feel like he's going to get opportunities out there. And I can't wait to see him compete, to see what happens in camp. All right, we got a couple of super chat contributions I wanted to get to. Jack Knox says, MW is born on my mommy birthday, R.I.P. Michael Williams. Okay, I had to figure out who MW was. So Michael Williams was born on your mom's birthday. R.I.P. Rest in heaven to your mom. And we'll be getting to his birthday very shortly. Is June 29th, I believe, is Michael Williams' birthday. That's when he turns 21. I could have the dates wrong, but I think it's June 29th, which is, I think, is one day after my son was born, June 28th. So I believe it's the 29th. But thank you for the super chat contribution, Jax. All-Star Luna, D or Martin. We got speed at linebacker, probably two of the faster ones. This is key, and that's why I said don't sleep. The more I felt like this pick was a reach, which I am going to live on that hill and die on that hill. I really feel like the Niners could have got him in round 5. That's just me. No disrespect, Nick. No disrespect, bro. You a third round pick. But so as a third round pick, the expectations are going to be ridiculously high, right? Because they drafted Fred Warner as a third round pick, a little bit higher, I believe, when he got selected. So the expectations are going to be higher for Nick Martin. So you know what? At pick 75, whether it's a reach or not, his ass better be on the football field. I see him beating out the 5th round pick, D. Martin, or 6th round pick. I can't remember. We got D. Martin, but I feel like we're going to beat him. He's going to beat out D. Martin, but the speed is there. That, to your super chat contribution, is on the mother freaking money. The speed is there. My only issue with D, he has two issues: tackling, number 1, and health, number 2. Those are my 2 issues. Can he find a way to stay healthy? And can he improve on missed tackles? That's it. That's it. If he can do that, man, the competition is going to be through the freaking roof. Like, you know what I mean? The competition is going to be through the roof. All right. So I definitely love the competition there as well. I see a comment from my brother Lake City. Jordan James, someone will get hurt. Knock on wood. His reps will increase. Hoping good health for all, though. Yeah, for me, the running back position is difficult, though, because I feel like, you know how we talk about favoritism? And I truly feel like there's definitely favoritism at this position. Out of all the positions, there's favoritism at the running back spot. And I think Bobby Turner, if he lacks the trust in a guy, that favoritism is definitely going to pan out. I think that's why you didn't see a lot of rotation. Now, the running back position is weird because if you got Christian McCaffrey on your team, I need him on the field the majority of the time. Like, I don't want to really see him come out of the game. I don't care about injuries at this point, man. Whatever happens, happens. This is just my philosophy. This doesn't have to be your philosophy. Anybody out there that's watching, but he's paid to be a running back 1, and I need him to be out there on the football field because he on the field gives the Niners the best opportunities to win. And at this point, I mean, you got 1 year left on his deal, 2 years left on his deal. Can't remember what it is. He signed his extension last summer. I need Christian McCaffrey on the field. So to crack running back reps is going to be tough, even for the rookie, even for a rookie. Now, Jordan James is going to have to definitely wait for an opportunity like the one you just mentioned to present itself. I hate to talk about injuries like this, but Isaac Guerrero dealt with a lot of injuries last year. I'm hoping his body now being acclimated to a football schedule, situation, his body will be better to handle the wear and tear of the game. So I don't see him beating out Isaac Guerrero because Isaac Guerrero is your home run hitter, right? He's that guy that can really hit that home run, knock it out the park, really like take it 99 yards, a la Garrison Hurst, if need be. But then there's those vets that I really do feel like Jordan James will get that opportunity. Can he be better than Patrick Taylor? Can he be better than Israel Abanaconda? Which one of those guys ends up on the practice squad? I feel like Patrick Taylor is going to be that practice squad running back. I think you carry your 3 backs you carry will be Jordan James. I really think he replaces the Jordan Mason role. Like I do. But I think he's a better running back than Jordan Mason. And Jordan Mason was great for me. It's great for the Niners. I don't know if he runs as physical as Jordan Mason. His body's definitely not as big as Jordan Mason, but I definitely know he understands the concept of outside zone better than Jordan Mason, and he's a better receiving back out of the backfield than Jordan Mason. So you're right, man. It can definitely be where we see some freaking Jordan James getting those reps depending on what happens. So that's who I feel like is going to be the most impactful rookie year 1. But back to the list of the rookie mini camp. We talked about the guys that we drafted. Let's talk about the guys that went undrafted very quickly. And then let's get into some of those guys that are invites that I think will stand out at rookie mini camp. All right. So we get to the UDFAs, only 6: Corey Kiner, Drew Moss, Jacob Robinson, Sebastian Valdez, Isaiah Nayer, Stone Blanton. All right. So keep your eyes open for 3 of these undrafted guys. All right. Corey Kiner, the running back. That's why I really like what the Niners are doing. They're bringing in competition for sure. Also, Drew Moss, looks like he can end up becoming a stud, but it's going to take something to happen. So let's see how he pans out at rookie minicamp. Definitely think, hopefully, some of these guys will end up making the practice squad. Sebastian Valdez, Isaiah Nair, in my opinion, should have been a draft pick. So I'm confused why the Niners chose to go Jordan Bergen. I mean, did I say his name right? I'm sorry, Junior Bergen over Isaiah Nair. I understand the Jordan Bergen pick, but if you were looking to draft the better prospect, man, the Niners either got lucky or they had a situational ship already set. Like, listen, we're not going to draft you, but if you choose to play with us, we'll sign you to an undrafted free agent contract, and we'll find a way to get you into this rotation. Now, the Niners wide receiver situation is a little weird, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but it's just a little weird, man. Brandon Ayuk's returning. You got Demarcus Robinson's probably going to start the season off suspended for the first 3 games. And so that's 2 wide receivers down. So your wide receiver 1, you got Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. Hopefully there's no setbacks with those 2 guys. And then it's like, who's that third guy? Is it going to be Tariq Owens? Is it going to be, the older guys that you brought in here? Like, you know what I mean? I'm hearing that, Isaiah Hodgins might be a good guy that can get some reps once OTAs begin. And that's one of the veterans that they signed. Or him and Russell Gage, I believe, are the 2 guys they brought in. Trent Taylor's still here. A lot of wide receivers in the 49ers room. I can't wait till I do a wide receiver episode. So I can, God dang, we got 11 wide receivers. Just looking at my list, 11 that are on the roster. And then you got an extra wide receiver in Isaiah Nair that's undrafted guy. So I guess you could sign him to the roster. So that's 12 wide receivers. Let me just add them. Dang, 12? Ain't no way, man. I feel like the Niners are only going to go with 5 or 6. Maybe Brandon Ayuk starts the season off on the IR. I'm thinking. And they gives him an extra spot. But yeah, Isaiah Nair, like, I feel like that's a guy you're going to definitely want to watch out for come camp time. I think he's going to be a nice prospect for the San Francisco 49ers moving forward. I see a lot of people I see Crazy Juice talking about Jacob Robinson. Listen, another DB, another corner, another dog. Niners drafted a lot of dogs. Shout out to Don't Bother Me and Felicia, members of the Breezy Bunch crew. Just wanted to show y'all some love for sure. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, like, I just feel like this wide receiver room is going to be competition for sure. And again, Brandon Ayuk's probably going to start the season off the IR, so that opens up a spot. Demarcus Robinson is going to probably start the season off suspended. So does he make he has to make the roster. They signed him to a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens out there. Question real quick, Niner favor, how many games am I planning to attend this year? I got to wait till that schedule release. So next Wednesday, once we see the schedule release, then I'll know. I'm probably going to do some of the East Coast games for sure. That's less travel and wear and tear on me. For those that don't know what I do outside of content creating, I'm a wedding musician / singer. So Saturdays take up my weddings, and so it prevents me from traveling to games on Sundays. But if they're on the East Coast, I can drive to some of those games. So we'll see what happens. But May 14th, I'll know for sure which games I'll be able to attend depending on scheduling. All right. And then here are the invites to Rookie Minicamp. You got extra linebackers, extra DBs for sure. We got a kicker. We got a punter. Look, the Niners are looking to get it in. I got some typos, and I'll definitely try to fix all these typos live, right? More defensive ends, building that rotation. Out of the undrafted guy, out of the rookie free agent guys, the rookie minicamp guys that they brought in, man, highlight Daquan Dowse. I think that's how you say his name. Michigan State defensive lineman. I felt like surprised he wasn't a draft pick. In my opinion. So highlight him. I think he's going to be a name to remember. Hopefully he'll be able to stand out. And we saw, it's going to be a long shot for some of these rookies that are invited to the mini camp to be selected. But, the Niners get to work them out, and that's good for them, right? And then the Niners get film on them. And like my man Lake said earlier, injuries are inevitable. They're going to happen at some point. And so the Niners will probably get first crack on signing these guys to the practice squad at some point. Maybe some of these guys even make the practice squad for the 49ers. So we'll see what happens, with these rookie minicamps. But again, rookie minicamp, May 9th through May 10th should be exciting because football officially will be underway. And I'm excited, all right? I'm excited. All right, before we get to the George Kittle situation, the rumor, we're definitely going to address it. We'll talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about these concept uniforms that there's going to be rivalry jerseys this year, all right? Rivalry jerseys this year. And the San Francisco 49ers, the NFC West, has been one of the teams that has been selected to participate with the rivalry jerseys. And all right, so what I want to do in the chat, right, for those that are watching the live show, and if you watch this on the repass, cool beans, appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. But I want you guys to design the color segues. Right now, I kind of like this old school off-white uni. If this is just a concept by Nike, I kind of like this. I definitely want more red. I feel like because red defines who our team is, But I want you guys, man, if you could pick 3 colors of the Niners, what would those colors be? And I got the comments in here, right? Look, throw up faces. I don't like those at all. Nah. Here's what I like about them. Nostalgia, right? Like they provide some type of like an old school like format, right? And I get these are cream, right? This is like a cream color. And so if you could pick 3 colors in the segue, like what would they be? And all these colors are in here, but it's kind of like how you present them. You know what I'm saying? Felicia says red, gold, black. What kind of red though? Like, I feel like they already go red. I feel like for rivalry, where do you want the red to be? Like, you know what I mean? Should it be a splash of red? Should it be predominantly red? They already got the red jerseys. When I think of color segues, when I think of rivalry uniforms, I want something that represents the city for sure, represents the faithful. But I want it to stand out, be different. Like, you know what I mean? Something that's exclusive. Like something that's exclusive. Crazy Juice says, I need to see gold. Right. Not a lot of gold. Looking at this concept uniform, I'm seeing New Orleans Saints in the black and gold. Maybe if the strips at the top were red and then the gold was in the middle and less black. Maybe, maybe if this had the red strips, red outlining, like the red shadow, you know what I mean? Still, I think, and then the red stripe down the middle instead of a black. I think if you replace the black on this uniform, except for the Nike symbol, with red writing, and maybe the 49ers could stay in black, I think this will look a lot better. I think it will look a lot better. Definitely can't take gold on the helmet for sure. I like this. This is kind of like a cool little thing. Rob D, I see your comment. Rob says gold helmet necessary. So all gold on the helmet. You're the second person that says all gold on the helmet too. Second person that says all gold on the helmet. I like that. Shout out to my man X-Man 2, member for 2-3 months. He says, I'm late. Breezy Bunch Niner family. Nah, man, you right on time, baby. We talking about the color segues. My man Leon Sandcastle has a cool idea. And don't forget, I'm asking you guys for ideas. Hopefully Nike representatives are watching this. They're the ones that get the design. I'm sure the 49ers get to sign off on it. The 49ers are definitely one of the most prestigious organizations in the NFL. And so these definitely have to have some type of, you know what I'm saying, like historical vibe to it, which is where the gold comes in. Because when you think of where the Niners get their name, Gold Rush, that's why I want to see like a gold rush, like more gold, like rush the gold with the color and then splash it with some of the other accent colors. Like, and the helmet needs to be metallic too. I don't know if that is allowed in the NFL. I feel like I've seen a metallic helmet. Gold shimmy chromish gold helmet. So you're with me, right? Like that metallic chromish gold. I'm with you, bro. With the same logo, 94 jerseys, but with the same chromish gold saloon. Man, shout out to you, bro. Can I give you a shout out just for writing all this? With the black shadow, the 94 white pants. I want to change them 94 white pants because I still want throwbacks. I still want those jerseys. So I don't know if I want to go with more of the throwback color, but I definitely love that color in the helmet. Jack says, hint of gold, a dash of red, and a speck of black. I think the black, in my opinion, should just only be the writing. I don't want to see the black. I want to see more of color. No disrespect to black as a color, but I just want to see more of a color. And the helmets are already gold, but change the gold. Like, make the gold flash. I think that's super important, right? Like, we already got what's our gold? Is our gold like a brushed gold? Is that the color of the regular helmet, like a brushed gold? It's not really gold, but isn't that more like a brushed gold? Don't worry, I'm just redesigning my bathroom, and brush gold is what we're doing, and so that's why I'm asking, because I ain't never know there was such thing as brush gold. Gold is gold. But I feel like that's what we have, so make it more chromish. Like I feel like that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? I think the shadow, the outline is cool in black. I do miss those all black uniforms with the red. I don't know. People said they were ugly. I didn't get the ugly thing, but definitely they're not going to go back to that. This definitely looks like the Deebo Samuel from Madden. All right, Dan Serrano. All right, shout out to Dan Serrano. All white jerseys. So we're going to go all white jerseys. I like that. So all white just presents like this clean look. And so when you go to the throwback jerseys, I like those better than the red throwback jersey, the all white. All right, gold salon, a saloon logo on the jersey front. Okay, I can see that. Gold socks, I can see that. So now you're giving me the gold with the helmet with gold single stripe and normal SF logo on one side. I could dig it. I think I could dig it. Let me just read it again. All white jerseys. So this isn't white. This is more the background of your comment is white. That's more of a cream, so go with a white, all white. Okay, so I could dig that. Gold saloon logo on the jersey front. Okay, I could dig that. Opposed to what that font is, where it says 49ers. I could dig that. Gold socks. Never seen that. Don't know if the NFL allow it, but I like it. I'm not gonna lie. And then keep it still nostalgic. Man, you guys are preaching, man. I actually like this. All right, so look, there's going to be new uniforms, and when they come out or more segues come out, we'll go back to addressing it. You guys can let me know what you guys think or whatnot. All right, let's get into this George Kittle talk. Again, for the 49ers, the 49ers have extended George Kittle for what? They've extended George Kittle, and rightfully so. We are glad. But there were some rumors that Diana Russini reported, who did say that the Niners or George Kittle wanted to be, at the time, the highest paid tight end from her source. And George Kittle kind of like declined that he wanted to be the highest paid tight end, and then comes out and George Kittle becomes the highest paid tight end. And I feel like there are people that are apologizing to her. I don't know what for. I mean, she just made a statement. I think every player out there wants to be the highest paid at their position, so I don't get it. But anyway, she came out and said that, per her sources, the 49ers, there were teams, looking to, trade a second round pick for the 49ers. So let's take a look.
With the 49ers the night before the draft about a possible trade for Kittle, a second rounder they were looking to get in return.
What?
They turned it down. The 49ers decided to keep him and really move this situation forward by getting a deal done. But there was a little interest there, some poking around.
Why didn't they move him? The second round pick for a 32-year-old tight end, that seems like a really good return on investment, no?
I don't think the 49ers ever wanted to walk away from George Kittle either. I don't think George Kittle wanted to walk away from the 49ers. I think they always wanted to be together. Everyone just wanted to feel like they were winning in the negotiation.
Could you imagine Kittle not a 49er?
So, look, again, speculation, however you want. Her sources say one thing, cool beans. I'm all for it. But the question is, should the 49ers have traded George Kittle? Now, a second round pick was offered. We do not have the teams, okay? But we're going to play a little game here. I'm all about games on today. Let's play a little game. We're going to try to figure out who those two teams were, okay? And for the 49ers to decline a second round pick, I can already guess who those teams were. Okay, we're talking about second round pick You know, and I mean, it would have gave the Niners an extra player at the top in the top 100, but you know, just off the TOP, all right. It would be hard for me to move on from a player like George Kittle when I haven't seen the decline yet. Now I know it's going to happen. I get it. And the Niners already extended him, but it's cool to get these reports to come out after the fact so we can kind of, you know, just kind of figure out where everything was. But the Niners did entertain it. And I do believe that. I think they entertain calls on every player that they get. I'm sure we can't wait till we talk about teams that want to trade for Brock Purdy once he signs his extension. I can't wait. But I do agree that there was a team, or maybe multiple teams. And when you think about George Kittle and everything that he provides for this team, it's really hard. And I know I got my 49ers cap on. I know I'm being biased, but I'm really trying to take the cap off and focus on the player, the age, the everything that George Kittle provides for the 49ers. It's really hard for me to move on from George Kittle. Okay? It's really hard. So it's really hard for I really feel like it would be hard for them because we just did the whole tight end room. And everybody told me, some people gave it an A, but we graded tight end room B-, right? I think that's the lowest we went. You take away George Kittle, this tight end room, maybe a D+, C-, maybe C. I don't even think it would be average because I don't think we would have a tight end that could do anything that George Kittle does. And I really feel like that would be rough. So when you think about George Kittle, what does he do in the blocking game? What does he do in the receiving game? What does he do just as far as the culture of this team? There's a lot. But he is aging and he is going to decline. So knowing that those things are going to be inevitable, like he's not going to get younger, and a team offers you a second-round pick, that's kind of tough to decline. But I feel like I know why the team declined, because there were only maybe one in a possible, maybe two teams that offered the 49ers the second round pick. All right. Let me know in the comment section. And I like this because I see people trying to guess. Niner favorites is my guess. It was the Jets. They asked about Kittle. Then they picked Mason Taylor. I like where you're going with this, dog. I like where you're going with this. I truly do. I truly do. I love where you're going with this. So Mason Taylor maybe was the Jets. Could have been the Jets. Could have been the Jets. But again, we're talking about second round picks. Now, I'm going to tell you this off the TOP, all right? There were only two teams that drafted tight ends in the second round, all right? Two teams that drafted tight ends in the second round, all right? James Johnson, you are the money man. Drop the bomb on him, James Johnson the second, man. Listen, what I'm going to need you to do, love your two symbol for your thing. Send me that, because what I'll do is I don't like seeing it on, that. Send me your email it to me, all right? And I'll crop it out for you, put it on a white background so it can just look a little bit more fresh. But that's the Boys to Men too right there. But and don't forget, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, man. And matter of fact, just join. All right, it's even better. Rams or Seahawks, okay? And let's talk about this, because they're the only two teams that drafted tight ends in the second round. Because, look, if I'm giving up a second round pick and I'm the San Francisco 49ers and I'm moving on from George Kittle, I'm looking at what tight ends are available, because now you definitely need that position would definitely be a need. I don't care if you had 9 tight ends on this roster, that position would be a hell of a need in my opinion. So Rams, freaking Seahawks are the only two teams, NFC West divisional teams. I know right now, if the Niners were offered the second round pick, they had to decline, because I don't think they were going to give George Kittle to the Los Angeles Rams, who drafted Terrence Ferguson in round 2 at pick 46. And I don't know who was available. The Jets also, they said the Jets who drafted Mason Taylor. I don't know if he was the guy that they wanted to go with, but it could have been the Jets. So shout out to so there were 3 tight ends. My apologies. 3 tight ends that went in the second round. I'm curious to see. I want to know who it was. I do, but I really think the reason why they declined it was because it was 2 NFC West teams. I don't think they were going to go with the New York Jets, but I think those NFC West teams are the reason why they declined, because you look at who was picked. Again, we talked about the Jets getting Mason Taylor, and if he was already off the board and then the phone rung, and then it was like, oh, the Rams were willing to give you 46 for George Kittle. So the Niners would have picked at 43. They would have still got Alfred Collins. Then they could have picked up, it was Terrence Ferguson on their list. And then you go down to pick number 50, Elijah Arroyo, the receiving tight end. He's the only person I feel like that could have gave you production as a tight end if he was with the Niners. I mean, this guy can literally get open. I mean, all I did was talk about him at the Senior Bowl. So Seahawks at 50, man, can you imagine George Kittle gone? And then, no, I can't. I'm not even going to have this. I'm not even going to entertain it. But should the 49ers have traded George Kittle for a second round pick? I mean, that I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. You entertain it, but then it comes down to the teams. And I think the Jets were past that phone call. And I think the teams that picked up the phone were the Seahawks and the Rams. And when the Niners was like, I'm not giving George Kittle to y'all, click. You know what I mean? So it's an easy hang up for me. And I'm glad that the Niners didn't trade George Kittle because, again, I talked about everything that he has to offer, everything he's going to bring. Bearing health, man. George Kittle healthy is a cheat code. I think when you look at, I think I'm going to do an episode called Cheat Code, right? We got to talk about George Kittle when he's healthy, because you can line him up anywhere. In the run game, he's going to be a fierce blocker. He can run screens. He can run whatever. The only thing we haven't seen George Kittle throw was a touchdown pass. Throw a touchdown pass. It's the only thing. That might be in the works this year, depending on how these tight ends pan out. And so what's going on, 49er Jeff? So I'm super excited. There's only one George Kittle. He's definitely one of a freaking kind. And I'm glad that the Niners didn't entertain this. Well, didn't receive what was being offered to them. If it was from a different team, I think there would have been more of an entertaining situational thing for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll never know. George Kittle has been extended. He is going to 9 times out of 10 retire as a 49er, and I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that his family remains out here. I'm glad I just love the personality of what George Kittle brings to this fan base. He's good to the fans. He's good for the area. He's good for this team. He's great for the organization. George Kittle is here to stay. And for those that like to buy 49ers jerseys, go get you a George Kittle jersey, because that's going to be one that's going to go down in the history books for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm predicting right now on this episode that George Kittle will go down as the second receiving leader for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry you got to be second, Kittle, but unless you play 10 more years, dog, you're not beating out the greatest of all time. That's Jerry Rice. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members, man. Thank y'all for holding it down for as long as y'all have been. Shout out to all the new subscribers and the old subscribers. And thank y'all so much for hitting that like button. Don't forget to check out our sponsors over at residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy, all right, and save on your total purchase. Don't forget to like and rate the podcast, man. If you're listening to it on your ride and your rig, wherever you guys, are listening to, you can't watch it, man, go ahead, man. Leave me a rating out there. Help push my show to one of the top 49er shows out there, man. I appreciate all the super chat contributions. It is what it is. Love y'all. Listen, hey, see y'all this week, man. We got a lot of stuff to break down. Rookie minicamp kicks off. And if any news breaks, you'll get it right here by your boy Breezy. Till the next time, keep it faithful to the mother-loving Bay. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.